I feel like a lot of times we try to police our emotions and be like, I shouldn't want this person because they're bad for me, they're toxic. Like, why do I still want this person? Why do I still care about them and love them? But it's helpful to understand that it's okay to want something or someone that you can't have. And you will survive the experience of wanting something that you can't have. There's nothing wrong with wanting it because that's not a threat to your life to want something that you don't end up having, or even to want something that you're going to actively have to choose not to have. Like if that person came back to you and you had to reject them, you can still have a part of you that wants to be with them, but you're gonna choose to listen to the part of you that knows you deserve better. A lot of times we think that we should feel a certain way or that we shouldn't want certain things, but it's really helpful to honor all of the emotions that come up for you and all of the different desires and feelings that you have. And ironically, when you actually accept this part of yourself and accept, you know what, I want this person and that part of me that wants them, that's okay, that's valid, like I understand and validate this part of myself, you'll actually end up wanting them less, because a lot of times the reason that we crave validation, success, certain people is because we want the validation, we want the love. And when you are saying, oh, I shouldn't want this thing, I shouldn't feel this thing, then you're invalidating yourself. And so now you're needing that love and craving that love and validation from that person even more. And so when you actually accept, you know what, I want this person, I love this person, I miss this person, even if they're bad for me, even if they don't want me back, even if I should move on with my life, when you love and accept that part of yourself, you're gonna actually start to want them less and not crave them as much, because you're giving yourself the love and validation that you need and that you're craving. In my last video about detachment, I was kind of talking about how we need to accept everything as it is, but then I also was still kind of talking about how I felt like I should let go of this person and that I'm so close, but like a part of me is still attached to them. And once I was able to realize like it's okay to be attached, it's okay to want things, it's okay to love people, it's okay to feel things, that's when I finally felt detached, when I accepted that part of me and accepted that I love him. But it's also like I know I would never go back to that version of me that I was when I was with him, and I don't actually want that relationship back. I don't actually want to be with him unless he was like a very different person. But there's still this part of me that just feels a certain way that goes beyond logic. And now when that part of me comes up, I just acknowledge it and accept it. I feel like I did detach to the point where there just wasn't that attachment. There wasn't much emotion there anymore. And after about a week of that, I was like, actually life is a little bit boring now. Like, kind of feels like some of the magic got taken away when I don't feel this sadness and grief mixed with like desire and love. And I feel like the universe gave me that experience just so I could choose to feel emotions, to be human, which is something I'm constantly learning, is to stop trying to escape the human experience. And I think that I want to avoid painful situations and I want to rise above my emotions all of the time. And sometimes I want to kind of escape this human experience and not be attached to things and not have these extreme emotions. But then I always get this reminder that I'm supposed to be human, I'm supposed to feel emotions. And that experience really showed me that, you know what, I do want to feel emotions. It's better to have these uncomfortable emotions mixed with these happy emotions than to have a dull human experience. And so I really appreciate that the universe actually helped me experience like true detachment so that I could realize that that's not actually what I want. Because the second that you stop wanting this thing or this person, stop missing a version of your life, you no longer have that love and that appreciation for it. And it's kind of sad to let go of that thing completely, because as long as you can miss a version of your life or a person and feel emotions towards it, it's still existing in a way, and that's actually like a really beautiful thing. I don't want to just keep pushing away these different parts of my life and pretending that they don't exist because they're uncomfortable or painful. I want to experience everything. I want the whole spectrum of human emotions. And I really am at a place now where even when I'm sad, even when I'm feeling the most low emotion, it really is just not that painful. It doesn't feel like suffering. Because when you just lean into your emotions, it kind of just becomes this like fun, beautiful experience. And I'm like, how amazing is it to be a human that gets to experience heartbreak and know what that feels like? And to know what everyone else feels like when they're going through it. But yeah, it's okay to want something that you can't have. The key is to act like the person that you want to be. It's okay to want something that you shouldn't want. We shouldn't try to change our feelings. We can change our actions and our thoughts and our beliefs, but allow your feelings to happen, because if you don't, then you're invalidating a part of you and you're always going to feel incomplete and have this void in you as long as you're invalidating your emotions and trying to escape them or judging them and thinking that they should be something else. You can believe in a positive future, believe that everything is going to work out perfectly for you and everything is happening for the best, but still accept that a part of you is upset and a part of you is hurt and maybe wishes it could be different. This experience is teaching you that you can love someone, you can want someone, you can miss someone, and that you're going to be completely fine, and it's safe for you to want something. It's safe for you to experience loss, and you're going to help yourself through it and be fine. You get to choose who to be. You don't need to do anything a certain way. You don't need to be a certain way, but you get to choose. And there are things that you do that are going to make your life less enjoyable, that are going to lower your vibration, that are going to put you in a state of fear or lack. And you get to choose whether or not you want to do those things and how good you want to feel. But it's not like you should or have to do things a certain way. Change your actions and practice having new positive thoughts, but don't try to change your feelings. Don't judge your feelings. Let your feelings be what they are and let yourself feel them. I feel like there are times in the past where I kind of shut down my heart to protect myself and closed myself off to new connections because I was so hurt by certain people, betrayed by certain people. The loss of certain people hurt so much. But through this experience, I'm really teaching myself that I can handle loss and that I would rather experience the pain of loss and love again and choose to keep my heart open and be open to new experiences and to opening up to people and still being myself. And also, when you're missing something, ask yourself, do I actually want this thing this very second? Like, is that actually what I want in this second? Because a lot of times I would find that when I was missing this person, I actually didn't want to actually be with them in that moment. I actually wanted to be alone, relaxing in that moment or doing whatever else. But it really just helped me to be present in every moment and to realize that in that moment I had everything that I wanted and needed. And a lot of times we're actually scared for the future, that we're not going to have what we want or we need and that we won't have access to it when we want it. But why are you assuming that about the future when you have everything that you need right now? So sometimes if you find yourself having these emotions, try to really be present and realize what the truth is, what's actually happening in your life right now. And if you actually are in a state of lack, or if you're just assuming or scared that that's what's going to happen in the future. And if you actually find that you do want it in that moment, then ask yourself, what is it specifically that you want? Is it comfort, validation, love, safety, security, emotional regulation? And then give that to yourself in that moment. And over time, you're going to continue to learn that you can give yourself everything that you need and that you consistently show up for yourself and give yourself what you need. And that's going to be a really healing experience. We think that we shouldn't want certain things, but you can sit in that discomfort. You can deal with that pain. You can want something and not have it and be totally fine and not have it affect your survival needs in any way. And maybe you will even have it one day when you want it again. If it makes you happy to imagine that one day you'll be together again and you'll have an even healthier relationship, let yourself feel that sometimes. Let yourself sit in that fantasy. Like, what's the harm in that? Because you're either attracting that or something of an equal vibration, which is a high, good vibration. So try to stay in these positive thoughts. And over time, like if it's not meant to be, you're gonna stop wanting that and fantasizing about that naturally. But if that's what brings you comfort in that moment, it's okay to think about it. And it's okay because it's helping you generate positive emotions on your own without even needing that person. And then you're attracting a better reality that matches that frequency. But also don't be afraid to have negative emotions and to feel your negative emotions, because that's what we need to do in order to release them and get them out of our bodies. It's not attracting like a negative reality for you to be feeling negative emotions. But if you're having a lot of negative thoughts and like creating these scenarios in your head of fear of the future and negative things in the future, then that is something that you need to make an adjustment to. But when we try to let go of something and we think we shouldn't feel that way, then you're constantly invalidating yourself, and then you're perpetuating this cycle of wanting them, craving them, because you're craving the validation that you're not giving to yourself. If you can, try to find peace and happiness where you're at. If you really can't, try to work towards that and believe in it for yourself. Even if the future that you want doesn't end up working out, you're gonna be fine just like you are now. It's okay to give love from people from your past, because in a way they represent you, they represent a version of you, your past self. And so when you give love to these versions of you, it's actually healing. When you give love to other people, it's healing. We're all so connected, and I feel like this is why it feels so good to help other people, because you're filling up yourself when you do that. Obviously, there's a difference between loving someone from an authentic place and just really feeling unconditional love for them versus doing it from a place of fear and scarcity, fear of losing them, attachment to them, feeling like you need them, and from this feeling of lack. It's a very different thing. And so if you find yourself acting in a way of like desperation and fear, then that's not healing to you. That's not like true unconditional love. I think that love just like lets people be who they are and appreciates them for who they are. And so yeah, the past few weeks I achieved detachment, and then I realized that I don't want detachment. I want to be human. I want to be flawed. I want to feel all these different emotions. And even when I do, like, it feels amazing. And if you feel like you really need something in order to be happy, then you can imagine having it to comfort yourself. Like, that's what I had to do with my health. I was like, I really feel like I need my health in order to be happy. And I had to imagine a life where I had it. And now I got it. So if that's where you're at, it's okay to want something. It's okay to feel like you need something to be happy, because that's probably what the majority of your life is going to be like, because it takes a while to really like get to these levels where we don't need anything external to be happy. I think that if we want things, we're meant to want them. We're meant to either go after them and get them, or just to have the experience of wanting them and whatever that is going to bring us and teach us. Your emotions don't actually have to dictate your reality at all. They don't have to limit you at all. You have complete free will to ignore your emotions and to transcend them. And that doesn't mean that you should try to not feel them or try to like push them down. You can just like feel them fully, but then also decide that this fear is not going to control how you live your life, or this insecurity or whatever, and still make the best decisions for yourself. Believe in a positive future for yourself, but accept that your emotions are sad in that moment, and then take intuitive action in order to bring in that future for yourself.